At just 32, she's become a formidable progressive voice in Georgia politics. Now, State Representative Ruah Roman is eyeing to become the state's next governor. With us now, as he is each Friday, Zach Merchant, co-host of the Georgia Vote. Zach, simply put, this is a historic tossing of the hat into the ring. Explain more about what's behind the move.
Yeah, it is a historic jump into this race, but it is also, as Ruah Roman would say, a policy-focused jump into this race. In interviews she's given through the kind of early days of her young candidacy here, she is focused on policy. She's advocating things like raising the state's minimum wage. You can tell it's a Friday because we've got some stuff going on off camera here in the newsroom as well, because there's always news happening in our newsroom, and it is a busy day and a busy week in Georgia politics too. Ruah Roman is also occupying a younger lane in this race for governor. She's definitely a member of the more leftward flank of the Democratic Party, and represents, there's this tension we're seeing play out across the country in the Democratic Party of more older mainstream Democrats and a younger generation that is kind of advocating for some change in stances that the Democrats have taken for some time. So we're going to be watching to see how this all plays out.
And you're talking to her for Sunday's show, right?
We are. And, her getting into this race, it shakes up the dynamics of a Democratic primary field that has been evolving. It feels like every week I'm on this show, on The Take on Fridays, there's some new Democratic candidate running for governor. There's 4 or 5, serious high name recognition Democrats already running. She joins this race as well. And what's notable here is that I think a political analyst of all different political persuasions would say this primary field has a little bit of everything, depending on your particular brand of kind of Democratic politics. There are more centrists, there are more progressive candidates, there are younger candidates, there are older candidates. We're going to see how this all plays out over the coming months. But Democratic primary voters, they're going to have a lot of choices when they go to the ballot box next year.
See, we get you on the show every chance we get because there's so much going on in local politics, but obviously also in federal politics right now. The government shutdown continues to drag on, and a Georgia conservative now showing some common ground with Democrats. This storyline with Marjorie Taylor Greene, whom you talked to recently, is kind of growing as we speak.
Yeah, she is getting a lot of attention, and I think it's certainly because it's no secret, she is a staunch conservative. But she is staking out some shared views with a major Democratic talking point right now. And whenever somebody sort of bucks expectations, they get a lot of attention for it. So that's what's happening here. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, in a conversation with us earlier this week, she expressed real concern about what she says would be skyrocketing health insurance premiums for many Americans if the Affordable Care Act subsidies are not extended by the end of the year. And that's notable because that point has been one of the key points made by many Democrats in this ongoing government shutdown debate. They say they want to see those premiums extended. Many Republicans have said they're not ready to do that yet. They want a different GOP stopgap bill, spending bill passed. And then they say maybe after the government is reopened, it will be time to talk about health care policy. Marjorie Taylor Greene is sort of sounding the alarm bell and sounding a little bit like she's in line with Democrats on this, although we asked her if she feels like she's on the same page as Democrats on this, and she wasn't willing to go that far.
Sure. Hey, Zach, we just have a couple of seconds left. Really quick, you got some new numbers in about fundraising totals for the Senate race here in Georgia? Yeah,
let's spin through them really quickly because we know that Georgia's upcoming Senate race expected to be one of, if not the most expensive in the country in 2026. 3 Republicans. There's Representative Buddy Carter. He brought in, according to his campaign, about $1 million this most recent quarter. Derek Dooley, about $1.8 million. Representative Mike Collins, $1.9 million. Those are the big names in the Republican primary. Whoever gets out of that with the nomination will go on to face Senator Jon Ossoff, the Democrat, in the general election. According to his campaign, he brought in $12 million in the last quarter.
Well, you get a sense of just how much money is going to start rolling in as we head into 2026. Zach, thanks so much. Always appreciate the time.
Thanks, Cheryl.
And don't forget to watch the Georgia Vote with Zach and Faith Jesse Sunday morning at 11 right here on 11 Alive Plus.